right. We are live. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, the man Lincoln Clay, coming at you with a live stream of Pokerstars VR. Don't really plan on playing that many games. Just wanted to set the tone to talk about a few things that's been on my mind for a while. And I guess while I get my thoughts together, we'll go over here to the wheel, see if we can win a few bucks. Okay. Um, well, let's go over here. I guess I'll let you guys see my avatar.
Welcome to your new wardrobe. Want to get dressed for success? Here, you can try on electrifying new outfits and apparel, and keep items you've won or purchased. To welcome you here and get you started, we've gone ahead and given you a few fine threads and accessories. Want to look $1,000,000? Go ahead and switch it up. You can check out your style in the mirror in front of you. Choose an apparel category by pointing and selecting with either the L2 or R2 button.
All right. I think we can get going here. Here. All right. Well, I had my microphone muted. Hopefully that didn't affect my intro, but in case it did, I guess I'll go ahead and do it again. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder, the man Lincoln Clay. We're back on the Godfather of VR channel, playing a little bit of Pokerstars. More than anything, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about a few things that's been on my mind for, probably a good month or so. And that is the state of PlayStation VR. I chose to talk about this issue on this channel because on my main channel, Lincoln Clay VR, most of you that sub to me there know that I'm a VR sim racer over there. And one of the games that I stream is GT7. And probably the last couple of months, I don't think I've had a lot of positive things to say about that game. There's some things that bothered me about the game, most notably the dirty racing as well as the horrible penalty system. Other things that I pointed out with this game, with GT7, is some of the compromises that were made in that game, which being a VR sim racer, I've seen enough compromises in other games. So the compromises that I saw are actually pretty normal, but the 120 hertz refresh, the 120 hertz reprojection is something that's been a huge concern of mine, and and I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, so I chose to talk about my concerns about PSVR 2 here because I've already been dogpiling on GT7, and I just didn't want to dogpile on PSVR 2 some more because I think for someone who's new to VR, I think PSVR 2 is great, and for someone that wants VR, plug and play VR, wants to remain in the PlayStation ecosystem, I think it's a pretty, I think it's pretty good too. But PlayStation VR 2, we know, launched back in February, and I knew that probably the first few months was going to be pretty slow because games are probably still being developed for the headset. But I knew there would be no shortage of games because Uh, Now that they've given us industry standard controllers with thumbsticks, anything that can go to PC, in my opinion, was capable of coming to PSVR 2. At least that's what I thought. But after some of the compromises that I've seen with this game, with GT7, I'm not 100% sure that we're going to see the kind of games that everybody's hoping for. So, so the main reason that I wanted to talk about this is that I think PlayStation VR 2 has been out going on 5 months, and I don't really feel like we have a roadmap um, beyond the end of this year. And I, although I've been frustrated that we don't have a roadmap, I think there's been a purpose for it. Um, and I think a lot of it has to do with the Activision Blizzard King deal that Microsoft has been trying to wrap up. They're trying to acquire Activision Blizzard King. Um, looks like the deal's going to go ahead and close because it was announced today by Phil Spencer himself that Sony entered into a binary agreement um, for a 10-year deal for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation. And I think that was one of the reasons why we have not gotten a roadmap, because I think this Activision deal got pretty ugly with Microsoft and Sony slinging a lot of mud at each other. And, Sony basically trying to make a case that we can't survive without Call of Duty if Microsoft buys Activision and makes Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox. They're trying to make the case that we can't survive. Whereas Microsoft is trying to make the case that Sony has been dominating for years and we need Activision, Call of Duty in order to be competitive. And I think that's one of the reasons why we haven't gotten a roadmap from Sony, because I do think that Sony does have a lot of things in the pipe, but they didn't want to show it to us because they probably did not want to look dominant in front of all the regulatory bodies like the CMA, the FTC, and all the other regulators. And I think that's one of the reasons why we got a less than impressive showcase that we got, about a month and a half ago. That showcase, in my opinion, was kind of lackluster. They showed a lot of third-party games. I think the only first-party game that they showed was some more Spider-Man footage, but everything else was third-party, even the VR stuff. I was not impressed with the VR part of it. They did what they always did to VR, in my opinion. I think they were very disrespectful to VR and only gave us almost like a 5-minute sizzle reel and then just moved on. I think out of the VR games that they showed us at the time, I think Synapse might have been probably was the most interesting, but it's just not enough that I wanted to buy it. And in any case, when they showed us that little clip of the VR games that's coming out, Synapse, the new Arizona Sunshine, I think they showed us Crossfire X Sierra Squad again, which we've already seen the trailer of that enough times. It's all third-party stuff. While I wasn't impressed with the VR part of the showcase, I don't exactly think it was trash, but they showed nothing as far as the VR part of it. They showed nothing that's going to make people run out and say, I got to get a PlayStation VR 2. And leading up to the release of PlayStation VR 2, Sony basically said they wanted everybody to transition over to PSVR 2. No, they said that about PS5. They wanted people to transition over to PS5 as soon as possible. But as far as VR goes, they were claiming that they were going to give us bigger and better experiences. And I guess you could make that case with Gran Turismo 7, but in my opinion, it was expected that Gran Turismo 7 would get VR because way back, Polyphony Digital said one of the things that they wanted to improve on was VR as far as GT7 goes. So that right there told you way before Sony officially announced that VR was coming to GT7 that we were going to get it. So to me, so when it was finally announced, my thinking was it felt more like a relief rather than wow, it's finally going to get VR. So Resident Evil Village, I think it was another game that I think it was expected that it was going to get VR. Given the relationship that Sony has with Comcast, they have Capcom. I'm sorry, they have a really good relationship with them. And Resident Evil 7 is technically still a VR exclusive to this day. If you want to play it in VR on PC, you have to, use either Prey Dogs or Luke Ross's VR mod. And same thing with Resident Evil Village. So, if I jump all over the place, you know, bear with me. But in any case, I think that was supposed to, as far as okay, I know where I was at before I went off the track. I was going to talk about why I think Sony hasn't given us a roadmap, and I think a lot of it had to do with the Activision deal, and yeah, and I think I already said that part, that I think Sony was holding back so they don't look dominant in the eyes of the regulators, while Microsoft was pointing the finger at them. Well, now that this deal has been closed, I think it's time for Sony to go ahead and start showing us what they got planned, because this is waiting for them to give us that VR roadmap and show us if those big hybrid AAA bangers are coming. It's been really frustrating waiting to hear whether we're going to get those games or not. You know, leading up to the release of PSVR 2, we dealt with a lot of silence from Sony. I think they only gave us crumbs of information, and they only did it when they had to. I'm not ready to go through that shit again in terms of what games are going to release. I think we're already, headed 3 years into this generation. I think PlayStation VR released in November of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we're already headed into the third year of the life cycle of this console. And I expect the life cycle of this console in terms of it being a focal point, I'm guessing 7, maybe 8 years will probably be the length of the generation before we see PlayStation 6. And so I'm not really liking the way, I don't really like the way that sounds, that if we do get some of these hybrid games that they're talking about, I don't think we're going to get them until next year, and we would already be headed into the fourth year of the generation, if I'm correct. That doesn't leave, in my opinion, a lot of time to get some VR games in, because once PlayStation 6 hits, if Sony still comes out with a new PSVR, let's say PSVR 3, slowly but surely, developers are going to turn their attention to PSVR 3. So I think the time is now for them to give us a roadmap and not start giving us PSVR 2 games that we want to see 60 or 70%, through the generation. So as far as I'm concerned, we're almost halfway through the generation when PlayStation VR. I mean, when PS5 hits its third year, I think we'll be halfway through the generation. So, if memory serves me right, PlayStation 4 came out in November of 2013, and PlayStation VR 1 came out in October of 2016, almost 3 years after. And PlayStation Pro came out about a month after that. And so we got about 4 years worth of games out of PlayStation VR 1, which for something that you might think that Sony's taking a chance on is not, I don't think it's that bad. But this generation, I felt like PSVR 2 should have came out sooner. We shouldn't be getting this headset as late as we did. I think it should have came out about a year after. Well, personally, I felt like the headset should have launched day and date with the console, but Sony said they didn't want to put pressure on people to drop that much money at once. So they tried to stagger the release. But for the headset to come out over 2 years after the console launched, that was a long time. I personally think that the headset should have came out about a year at the most after the console. So, yeah, the Activision deal is the dust is pretty much settled. And in my opinion, Sony's got nothing to hide anymore. So I think it's time for them to start being a little transparent and start telling us what their roadmap is. One of the biggest reasons why I want to know what the roadmap is going to be, because a lot of these hybrid games, to tell you the truth, unless they're PlayStation exclusives, I'm going to be able to play those games in VR one way or the other, because either those developers, if Sony hasn't paid for a timed exclusive, chances are that we'll get those hybrid games on PC as well. Day and date in the PC version will probably be the better version. Or even if Sony does pay for timed exclusivity on these hybrid games, it's not going to matter anyway, because as we speak, Praydog is working on an Unreal VR injector, which I think is supposed to like turn any game into like true 3D, true VR. So that could actually hinder the sale of some of these hybrid games. They might, sell on PlayStation VR, but on PC they may not sell that well. I don't know. We'll see. But in any case, point being is that I guess if it boils down to it, right now I still don't have to wait for Sony to do anything, because Praydog and Luke Ross, they mod damn near every big AAA game that comes out. So there's already VR mods out there for like Death Stranding and Spider-Man and that kind of stuff, even though I haven't checked them out. Cyberpunk. So there's virtually no game that I can't play in VR on PC. So that, so I don't have to wait for the hybrid games that Sony wants on PSVR 2, unless it's exclusives. Now, a Spider-Man 2 in VR, which I don't think is going to happen, but it would be cool if it did, or God of War, we already got that. I don't think, Wolverine is going to have VR support. I think maybe a Twisted Metal, if that comes back to PS5, I can see a game like that getting VR support, because that's a game that can be played both flat screen and in VR, where people can play together. So a game like that, I can see that being a hybrid game that Sony would do if they decided to bring it back. I've mentioned before on Twitter that I think Sony should bring back some of their shooters that's sitting in the closet, like SOCOM, MAG, Resistance, Killzone, those kind of games. And those games would be nice with VR support as well. So while I'm thinking about first-person shooters, uh, given my thoughts on why I think Sony was fighting so hard to stop Microsoft from getting their hands on Activision is at one point I thought that Sony might have been in talks with Activision to bring Call of Duty to PSVR 2, which would be a system seller. Um, if you want PSVR 2 to go mainstream, you would need to bring those blockbuster titles in VR, and no two titles would bring people to PSVR 2 more than Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. And a lot of us for a while thought it was a given that we would probably get Grand Theft Auto on PSVR 2. But now, after some of the things that I saw, even with this game, um, I'm not sure that the PS5 might have enough power to do it. I've talked about this before on some of my other streams, on my racing streams, and I just happened to mention it in passing. I didn't really do any podcasts centered around it, but I do think that the PS5 is a little bit underpowered when it comes to VR. I think the PlayStation 5, I think it has the graphical power of a 2070. And I've had 2070s before, and there are some games from way back then that my PC didn't have enough power to run those games properly. One of them was like Half-Life Alyx. When that game came out, I was still on a 2070, and it did run the game pretty good, and it did look pretty good, but I think I had to turn the graphics down to medium because it just didn't have enough. I couldn't run it at ultra settings and still get good performance, because I think at the time the 2080 Ti was the most powerful NVIDIA card at the time, and it was recommended that you have that card to run it. Medal of Honor was another game that when it came out, it was recommended that you have at least a 2080 or 2080 Ti. It was also recommended that you download the game onto an SSD. Graphically, I originally thought that a game like Medal of Honor could come to PSVR. At one point, I thought that Half-Life Alyx could come to PSVR too, but this game right here has shown me that if Half-Life Alyx does come to PSVR 2, I think it's going to be with some compromises. My good friend Gamertag, he says he doesn't think Half-Life Alyx is going to come to PSVR 2. He thinks the PS5 is capable of doing it, which I think it is too, but I don't think it'll be one-to-one with PC. I think there's going to be some assets stripped. It would be some assets stripped out, probably some downgrades, some small details that might be missing, anything that's going to help free up resources. And I think that the game would run at 120 hertz reprojection, which in turn would make it look blurry. As it stands, I think this game runs at 120 hertz reprojection, but this isn't a fast-moving game like a racing game or people moving around all over the place like a first-person shooter. So the blur isn't as prevalent on this game as, say, GT7. So in any case, I think that whether it's assuming that games like Grand Theft Auto, Half-Life Alyx, a Call of Duty in VR, Medal of Honor, any of those kind of games, if they're gonna come to PlayStation VR, and they're gonna be and any of those games would make PlayStation VR the must-have item this year for Christmas, they have to announce it now. I truly think that if we don't get some kind of big announcement by September for PlayStation VR 2, I don't think we're going to get that must-have game for Christmas unless they think Ghostbusters is going to be that must-have game, which It's cool that we're getting a Ghostbusters game, but it does nothing for me. Um, that's not gonna move the needle. And the game was originally announced on the Quest. So even though I think this game is backed by Sony, it was originally announced on the Quest, at MetaConnect, I think about a year ago. So I would have to assume that this game is going to release on the Quest at the same day that it would release on PSVR 2, meaning that Sony probably isn't going to have any kind of time exclusivity with that game. But in any case, that's not a game, in my opinion, that's going to move the needle. If it comes out on Quest, people who got Quest, that's what they're going to buy it for. They're not going to run out and buy a PSVR 2 to play that game. It's not going to move the needle. So they're going to have to come with something harder than that for Christmas. So I think I'll get ready to close it with that. Um, that a lot of these. Well, I'll say I'll start with Grand Theft Auto. I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is supposed to come out sometime next year. So if Sony was planning to bring Grand Theft Auto 5 in VR to PlayStation VR 2, they have to announce it this year. And as far as I'm concerned, they have to announce it in September. If they don't announce it in September, then that game, in my opinion, is not coming to PlayStation VR 2. In my opinion, if it was in the works, I think they should have announced it now. Although Rockstar has admitted that they are working on a VR title, they say they are working on a AAA, bringing a AAA title to VR, and that's got people hopeful that it is Grand Theft Auto 5. But I don't know. I mean, you would cannibalize the two games if you were to bring out Grand Theft Auto 6 and then turn around and go backwards and announce VR support for Grand Theft Auto 5. That would be backwards. If you come out and announce that Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to get VR support, and let's say you tell people that it's going to come out next April, but yet Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out in June, like 2 months after that, nobody's going to play a Grand Theft Auto 5. They're just going to skip right over it and shoot for Grand Theft Auto 6. I truly don't think the Grand Theft Auto 6 will have VR support. I think with the technology that's probably going to go into Grand Theft Auto 6, it's probably going to be the best looking and possibly the most graphically intense Grand Theft Auto to date. And I don't think PS5 would have enough power to run it in VR. I mean, hell, if you use a VR mod, even with a 4090, that might put a 4090 through its paces. Because I know even when the 3090 was the best graphics card out there, when Cyberpunk got a VR mod, even people who had 3090s had to turn the settings all the way down to medium or even low to make it run good, because it's essentially running the game twice, one flat screen and VR. So yeah, I truly think that we will not get a Grand Theft Auto 6 in VR, but I do think that PS5 would be able to run Grand Theft Auto 5 in VR if they run the original 360 version or original PS3 version and not this 4K remaster one. I don't know if PS5 would be able to handle that. Because Skyrim was on the original PSVR, and I think that was a 360 PS3 game. So yeah, I'd like to think that PS5 can handle the original last gen Grand Theft Auto and run that in VR. What else? Well, like if Sony was working on bringing Call of Duty PSVR 2, um, I think now's the time to do it, but something like that could get announced next year. Although I think they, should do it in September or whatever. What else? Half-Life Alyx. A lot of people want that game. A lot of people have been hollering about wanting Half-Life Alyx to come to PSVR 2. So, I don't think that's necessarily something that has to happen this year, but I don't know. Maybe they're counting on that being the must-have game um, for Christmas. I don't know. But I think uh, out of the games that I mentioned, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 is the one that if it's coming, it has to come this year, and I think they have to announce it by September, because if they wait until next year to announce that it's getting VR support, I foresee a lot of people skipping right over it and just waiting till Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Um, so I think, yeah, if Grand Theft Auto 5 is to come to PSVR 2, they're on the clock right now, and they don't have, in my opinion, they don't have much time. Uh, so so yeah, I think it's now that Sony's all done with this fighting with Microsoft over Activision, I think it's time for us to let us know what they plan to do with PlayStation VR, because we're almost 6 months into the headset, and I did not expect us to get these hybrid games that they've been talking about. I didn't expect us to get them right now, but I at least would expected them to drop some kind of hints, or announce it, or whatever the case may be. But hey, we'll see. That being said, I think by this time next year, if we find ourselves in the same spot where we're asking, where are the hybrid games, where's this, where's that, I may possibly check out of this ecosystem. I don't mean from the standpoint of I don't think I would sell my PlayStation VR 2 headset, but unless it's a Sony exclusive, I don't really see myself buying the PSVR version of a third-party game. I mean, as it stands right now, I find the 120 hertz reprojection off-putting. So I would prefer to buy games on PC right now anyway. But I have seen Sony do some things where I think they've manipulated some of these VR games to make their version look best. And I think Brian Paul, PSVR 2, PSVR Without Parole, I think Among Us, I think that's coming to Quest, but I don't think it's coming to PlayStation VR 2. And he mentioned that he think that Meta's using their money to keep some of these games off of PSVR 2. And he mentions that he thinks that Sony should do the same thing, that they should start putting some of their money out there and gaining exclusivity to some of these games. For as much as he knows about VR, I don't think he realizes that I think Sony has already done it. Creed, Rise to Glory, Championship Edition. It is only available on Quest 2 and PSVR 2. It is not available on PC. I think that Sony paid Cerberus to keep the Championship Edition off of PC so that the PSVR 2 version would be the best looking version. Because even though PSVR 2, in my opinion, with some games don't look near as good as PC, it still looks better than Quest. So in the case of Creed Championship Edition, PSVR 2 at this moment is still the best looking version, even with the 120 hertz reprojection. Another game, Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. This game originally came out on Quest, and in enhanced version, they're calling it an enhanced version, is available on PSVR 2. But this is another game that is not available on PC. Therefore, I think that this is another game that I think Sony paid the developers to keep it off of PC so that their version would be the best looking version. in the case of the Resident Evil games being PSVR 2 exclusives, that's to be expected given the situation with Resident Evil 7. So, so once again, my point is that that I do think Sony is gonna pay to keep some of these games off of PC, or at least have time exclusivity before they come to PC. But if a third-party game releases on PSVR 2 and PC, I'm more than likely going to buy it on PC because it'll be the better version. I have a premium headset in the Quest Pro. I have what I feel is a superior PC with a 4090. But I don't know. Something else, yeah, before I take off. Another reason, I was talking to Ham about this, and I was talking to him about how I'm a little bit disappointed that Sony hasn't given us a roadmap yet. And I think he kind of suggested that one of the reasons why they may not have given us a roadmap yet is because they're waiting to release the PlayStation 5 Pro. And I had stated that I don't think that a PS5 Pro is going to change anything as far as VR goes, because Sony will likely mandate parity across the board. And that was the case last generation with PSVR 1. Using GT Sport as the example, from what I understand, the PlayStation Pro had enough power to run GT Sport in VR multiplayer. But the standard PS4 did not have enough power to do it, so Sony just did not put it on the Pro, basically mandating parity in order not to separate the user bases. I think in the case of a PS5 Pro, I think that a PS5 Pro would probably have enough power to run some of these games natively, because if a game runs natively, that's going to eliminate a lot of the blur. The 120 hertz reprojection makes games look blurry when everything's in motion. And my thinking is that, say, let's use Gran Turismo 7, GT7 as the example. It uses 120 hertz reprojection, and when you go around corners, the game can look blurry. The game looks like the cars look like they're leaving a ghost trail. A PS5 Pro, depending on how powerful they make it, would probably have enough power to run the game natively. But would Sony allow it if the difference in performance between the two consoles is so vastly different that PS5 Pro users would almost have an unfair advantage? Sony would more than likely mandate parity across the board, meaning that they would probably instruct Polyphony Digital to also put the 120 hertz reprojection on the PS5 Pro as well, which if they do that, there is no reason on this earth for me to buy a PS5 Pro. At this moment, the only reason for me to even think about getting a PS5 Pro is all these games that have 120 hertz reprojection. If they were to redo these games and give them a native frame rate, which would eliminate the blur, and in my opinion, it would finally put PlayStation on par with PC. So, I don't know. So, with that, I think I can go ahead and wrap it up. I think I can go ahead and jump into a poker game and play a few hands. And then I got to jump on over to my PC and get some practice in on a set of Corsa Competizione. And I've also got to check out OBS. I updated OBS to switch over to the AV1 encoder, which is supposed to give me the same performance, but tax my PC a lot less. So yeah, that is the game plan. One thing I do not... we're just gonna have to go into a room. This is the one thing that bothers me about this game on PlayStation VR. Once you come here in front of this mirror, I have not been able to leave this room. Whereas on PC, I can't. I just simply turn around and point to where I want to go. But this game is insisting that I take one of these items before I can leave. Point at a category, press L2 or L2 buttons to select it. So,
Great. Grab an item by pointing and pressing the L1 or R1 button.
yes, I might. So yeah, I can't seem to get out of it. Hold it and move it towards your avatar. So yeah, I'm stuck. And that's it. Now I should be able to leave, but it won't let me leave. And I'm trying to select the room so I can get out of here. And then whatever this is right here, I can't put my hand in here.
Now, apply it by placing it on your body and releasing the L1 or R1 button.
Here.
Strike a pose. You can remove any item you're wearing by grabbing it and throwing it off. Have fun perfecting your new look. Check back anytime to see new items you've won or purchased.
All right, hopefully I can finally get out of here now. Yep. Okay. Boy, it's already warm in here, so let me start by getting some air circulated through here, and then we'll get ready to get out of here. Oh, you know what? Something else that that I forgot to point out. One of the reasons why I think that PS5 is underpowered, some of the differences that I've seen with this game.
Hey buddy. Red Heart.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? The avatars. If you guys were looking in the mirror, you see my avatar went down to the bottom of my neck and I got two floating hands. On PC and on the Quest, you have an entire top half. You have a torso, you have full arms, hands. You come over here and you look up here, you see casino slots, casino 1 with a yada, yada, yada. You also have like a rooftop. You also have like a rooftop room that's like for the super high rollers. And then the store, I'll show you guys the store real quick. But I already know what the story is with the store. This doesn't have anything to do with the PS5 being underpowered. But so the store right here, if you look there, there's about 6 pages worth of items that you can scroll through. How's it going? In the case of the PC version, there's like 13 pages of items to scroll through. And when I went through the differences between the PC store and the PSVR 2 store, what it is all the liquor, beer, and tobacco items have been removed from the PSVR version. So on the PC version, you can buy cigars, cigarettes, vapes, beer, but none of that stuff is on the PSVR version. So I'm assuming that is something that was mandated from Sony because they probably don't want to be accused of promoting alcohol and tobacco and all that kind of stuff. But I find that weird that you let a game onto your platform that models itself after gambling, but yet you don't want them putting alcohol and tobacco on the game. You got games on this platform where You see destruction of the human body, heads and legs and arms getting blown off, but you don't want to put, tobacco and alcohol on this game. I find that really strange. But let's go ahead and find a game here. Let's go ahead and find a room. Another thing is, I'll show you guys when we get to the game. So the game's right here.
Red Dead Redemption 2, you can order shots till you collapse, literally.
But that's weird that they won't let tobacco and alcohol be on this game. I find that weird. So right here, there's 3 pages worth of poker rooms that I can go into. On PC, there would be at least 15 pages of poker rooms that you can go sit in. In addition to that, like the Casino 1 room right here. Look at that. Let's see the casino floor right here. So you got 2 pages on this casino. In the casino floor, you have several games. You have craps, you have roulette, you have blackjack. On the PC version, you can go into separate rooms for any of those games, whereas on the PlayStation VR version, there's no separate rooms for those games. All of them are in one room. And I'm assuming that's something else that they probably removed from the PSVR 2 version in order to save resources. So let's go into a room and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go in here. Okay, so in this room, right over there is the crap table. Right next to it is the roulette table. This is some kind of rocket ship game. You got another roulette table over here. And you got the blackjack table over there. On the PC version, you can choose to go into one private room for any of those games. So like the crap table, for instance, if you wanted to just play strictly craps, you can create a separate room that has one crap table in there that's private. They don't have any private rooms like that, and I think that's something that they removed from the PSVR 2 version in order to save resources. Also, another thing that's not in here, on the PC version of Pokerstars, they have what's called a sports betting booth, where you can walk up and place bets on real-life events like hockey games, basketball games, upcoming boxing events, pay-per-view fights, Super Bowl, whatever. That sports betting booth is not in here on the PSVR 2 version. And I think I don't know if Sony has a stance against people betting on real-life events or not, which I would find another piece of hypocrisy if that's the case. But let's go over here and hop into the craps table, see if we can win a couple of dollars.
Betting open.
Oh, need to buy in. How much money do I got? 238. Let's go here.
Final bets. Betting closed.
We'll get on the next one.
Point is 6 the easy way. Betting open.
Damn it, I forgot how to...
Last chance for bets.
Shit, I forgot how to do that damn shit.
No more bets.
Hold the X or square button.
Okay.
Dice fly off the table. 10. Betting open.
Oh.
Last bets. No more bets. Seven.
Yikes.
Shooter craps out. New shooter. Betting open. Ready up.
Oh, we don't want that.
Last chance for bets. Betting closed. Let's try that again. No roll. $12.
Damn!
Betting open. Shooter passes. Ready up. Shooter passes. No more bets. Pick your dice.
Let's get some Rhode Island Reds.
Dice out of bounds. Dice fly off the table. Aim
right.
for the back wall.
Rolling bones.
Let's try that again.
Damn!
Last chance to shoot.
Would you be
Dice
more
out of
comfortable from
bounds.
half court there, Mrs.?
If they time out, we roll for them.
Probably.
Point hits. 9. Winner, winner. Betting open.
Okay. Let's go. 100 bands, 100 bands, 100 bands.
Oh, really?
Oh my
You got it
gosh,
like
look at
that, huh?
stack.
Final bets.
That's fucking gone. Damn.
Betting closed.
Who the fuck is standing on top of me? What do I do, Cage?
7.
Ain't that a bitch?
Craps. New shooter. Betting open.
I only ever bet on myself. It says betting's closed.
No more bets.
Let's do the ocean.
2. Snake eyes.
Come on, this is some bullshit, man.
Oh no!
Everything
Two
been
grand on
since
that. Open.
since I jumped on this table, everything has been craps. Whether they didn't bring back the point or whether they crapped out on the first roll. This some live bullshit.
Fat stack on black.
I actually had the wrong bet. I was supposed to do any
Grace
craps.
ace,
I had
we
it
have
on
24,
87, so I fucked myself out of a
21,
grand.
and black.
Actually, 1400.
No more bets.
This is some old
Yeah, let's
bullshit.
The point is
There we go. There's
9.
Big? Really? Oh,
Betting
shit.
open.
Okay. If you say so.
Let's go.
No more bets. 7.
Oh, you
Craps
cocksucker!
out.
I'm the cocksucker.
Today must be
New
the day where
shooter.
I guess they got their mind made up. They're
Betting
just taking
open.
everybody's shit.
Yep.
Dude, they're taking
I'm gonna throw
everything.
some on 11.
Shit. And
It's
once
one of
it,
those days where you just gotta put fucking $1,000 in the field and just fucking let it ride.
once this 25 racks run out, I'm going to a poker table where I can somewhat control my own destiny.
Stack on black.
I know, I agree.
Big money, big money.
Betting closed. Choose your dice.
Fuck.
All
Is that
right.
all you got?
Well, came in with 25 racks.
That shit.
Oh,
Throw it again.
I came
Yeah.
in with 50 grand.
I mean, I got way more than that. And then
Hit the
on
back
yeah.
wall.
PC, I got about 18 million.
Jesus.
3.
Look at this bullshit.
Yeah, I got a little bit back.
Betting open. No more bets.
Yeah, I've only got 35,000 in my bank.
Point hits.
That's why I stick to
5.
low stakes.
All right. Let's put it all on the line.
Numbers above it.
Betting open.
Here's my ball. Oh shit, I didn't fucking put money on 11, dog. God damn it.
Ready up.
Yeah, that was 11. That was one of my numbers.
This is it.
But I did hit black.
If I blow this, we're going
No more bets.
to a poker table.
Eight.
8 at 8.
Let me see what I got.
Crazy eights.
Great. Keep it great. Roll the 8.
Betting open.
8 skate.
So we're negative. Okay.
Betting closed.
Let's go with these Christmas colors.
9.
Meaner. I'll take it.
Mm.
I missed.
Yeah, bro.
Betting open. No more bets.
Fuck.
Come on. Hit that 8 again.
5. Hot shooter.
Oh, I did not
First
wanna
time I
see
hit the
point.
fucking
the
point.
shooter.
I didn't want to
You
see
win.
the point. But it's alright. You were
Betting
working the
open.
point.
See how much money.
Ugh, you know what? I'll bet with you. This time.
I'm putting it all on the line on the pass. So it's see if I win them, if I lose them
No
out,
more
it's that
bets.
simple.
Alright. Flat betting it.
7.
You won.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Winner, winner.
Two for 35.
I lost all my
Betting
run
open.
bets though. That's
Do
why
it
I didn't
again.
pull 'em.
Let's do it again.
No more bets.
Yes,
I'm down
dude.
26k.
9.
Coming eventually.
Alright, 1, 2,
Betting open.
4 times
good thing.
odds. I'll give you
Yeah, I'm
full
gonna leave
odds
it there on the pass. I already got enough. Wait a minute. This is it. Putting it all on the line again.
Get a little more. Less sticky.
Alright.
Final bets.
throw 3 in the field for my homies. And you know what?
Pour out a little
Getting
liquor.
Big
close.
6. 1,000 on big 6.
4.
Alright, I'll take a 4.
Oh, you got paid. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna do 1,000 on big 8 too. I think
Betting
we're gonna roll
open.
them both before it happens.
So,
Oh, I should have left it on there.
No more bets.
See, I got fucking stacks of 500s out here.
let's see.
Thousands on them big and 6. Big 8 right here. Big 8.
12.
Oh, midnight.
6, 6.
No
I
wins.
lost my cum. It's okay.
Betting open.
No news is good news.
Betting closed.
Right.
7.
Oh,
Craps.
That's alright.
yeah, that's a wrap.
You lost the racks.
Yeah, I'm
New
headed.
shooter.
I'm headed to a poker table.
Betting
Yeah.
open.
I am too.
Yep.
I'm out because I need to win some back. I only got 33,000.
Yeah, there's some funky shit here. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Yep.
Nice.
Shooter passes.
We got to get to a poker table and try to get some of that money back. Damn it. All right, poker. Let's go to the saloon. And I'll show you another compromise that was made with this game.
Call. Raise. Call.
Raise it. Wait, who? Wait, you raised it? Again? Jesus, mother. All right.
Call. That's a call. The flop. Check. 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 Bet.
We are in a saloon.
Raise. Fold. That's a call. Call. The turn. Bet. Call. Call. The river. Bet. Call. Call. 2 pair. That's a call. That's a call. That's a call. Call.
Suck on that barrel.
Check. Here's the flop. Bet. Call.
They're gonna be yours anyway. I just threw them in your pile.
Yum, yum,
Call.
yum, yum, yum.
Call.
Not this hand. You guys got this
Fold.
one.
The turn. Bet. Call. Fold.
Oh, hold on. I gotta buy them.
Call. The river. Player bets. Player folds.
Yo, chip. Yo, do you chips?
Call. Full house. Call. 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 Player checks. Here's the flop. Check. Check.
You gonna do bet your last 2 chips? 3 chips?
Fold. Check. Check. Here's the turn. Check. Check.
It's fucking bullets.
Check. Check. The river. Check. 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 1 pair. Call. 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 Check. The flop. Bet. Player is all in.
Oh, I don't know if I
Fold.
can hang with that. Oh, that's 500. Shit.
Fold.
Looked like 50.
Call. The turn. Check. Check. The river. Player bets. Call. 3 of a kind. You
want
win.
bullets?
2 pair. Side pot.
No, he needs chips, not bullets.
Fold. Call. 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 Check. The flop.
Hey, whoa, hey.
Player checks. Player checks. Check. Check. The turn. Check. Player checks. Check. Check. The river. Check. Check. Bet. Fold. Call. Fold. Flush.
Nope.
That's a call. Call.
Throw that shit in.
That's a call. Call. Check. The flop. Check. Player checks. Check. Check.
Oh, you can hit the bottles, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Right fucking there.
Hit it again. You gotta tap it one more time.
Hold on. My tracking is all fucked up.
Check. The turn. Check. Player checks. Check. Player bets. Player
Ooh,
all
you're 2
in.
chips.
Player folds. Fold. Call. The river. Bet. Call. Straight.
Damn, you threw all that money in to lose it.
Hit those bottles off the bar.
Call. 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 Check. The flop. Check. 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 Bet.
Just a little salt on the pot. Just a little salt.
It's too salty.
Fold.
Too salty.
Call. Call.
Drink it. Drink that shit.
Call. And the turn. Check. Check.
You have to hit it twice, not once. You can't just go tap.
You gotta smack it with the back of your hand like you're smacking an ass. Like wapa. It sends it to the next guy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bunny Toast
Yep.
got it.
He don't do it though. He just goes.
Fucking wapap.
Check. Player check. The river. Check. Check. Player bets. Call. Fold.
Don't salt the donkey.
That's a call. 2 pair.
Give my fucking money.
Fold. Call. Fold. Player folds. Call. Call. Player checks. The flop. Player checks. Bet.
Don't throw your chips at me, dude. I don't
Call.
care if you got a gun.
Fold. Call. The turn. Player check. On you. Player checks.
You don't throw them there, jackass.
Bet. That's a call. Call. The river. Check. Bet.
Throw your chips in. You're gonna lose anyway.
Call. Fold. You win. 2 pair.
Ooh, 2 pair.
Call.
Equitas, don't look
Call.
at my cards, bro.
Call. Fold. Call. That's a call. Check. The flop.
Fucking giggling.
Check. Check.
It's on you, fat fuck.
Check. Player checks. Bet. Call. Call. Fold. Raise it. Fold. Call.
Because I run this table, I do what I want.
That's a call.
You know it's your turn, right, dipshit?
He's too busy going John Wick.
On you. Call. The turn. Check. Bet.
Why you need to stand up and play poker, man?
Call. 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 The river.
Don't nobody mess with Mr. Roboto.
Tomogoro.
Check. Bet.
You want the hockey stick?
That's a call.
Hit that donkey.
Fold. Call. 2 pair. Raise. That's a call. Fold. Fold.
Hold on, I'll be right back. My dog's trying to get in the room.
Fold. Fold. Fold.
Hey.
Okay, so for those of you that were watching the saloon that I was just in, you probably heard the audio as if that saloon was full, but you didn't see anybody. On the PC version, there's NPCs inside the saloon also. There's a bartender, there's patrons at the bar, at the top of the steps, there's a door with like a yellow that's got like a weird window pane, and you can see shadows moving around back there, which I'm assuming is supposed to be a brothel or something. So that's the PC version. That stuff was not on the PSVR 2 version. I'm assuming that that was another move in order to probably save resources. So let's head on over here. All right. I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and boogie on out of here. Get a few laps in and then call it a night. With that, I want to thank you all for watching. Be on the lookout this week on my main channel, Lincoln Clay VR, as I will be hooking up with my good friend Ham VR so we can continue our co-op career on F123. And at some point this week, I will be getting back into low fuel motorsports. The new race this week is at Kyalami, one of my favorite tracks. And I made the switch to the Ferrari 296. So come on over, check that out. Watch me get a race in or two. And with that, I will see you all on the next stream. Thanks for watching, everybody. For those of you that follow me on my main channel, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. We'll see you soon, everybody. Have a good one.